Welcome to Investing Bros. I am T Shroom, and today we're going to be talking about a coin that we very rarely ever cover. That's Toncoin, that has very close ties to the messaging app that you can use internationally, known as Telegram. It's very popular among crypto users, very popular among people in general who are looking to keep their messages private and secure. Telegram does boast a good amount of security over messaging apps like Facebook Messenger and Apple's Messenger app. So we'll be diving into that here in just a few seconds, but we got to get into something that was really, really funny here. Drake has shared Michael Saylor's bullish take on Bitcoin to his 146 million Instagram followers. So if it's not on Telegram, it's on Instagram. Of course, this is the video that was shared by Drizzy Dre. Let's take a listen.
Does it ever have to be a currency? Or do you think it ever becomes a quote-unquote currency?
It doesn't have to be a currency. Nobody's trying to buy a cup of coffee with a fraction of their building on Fifth Avenue, right?
Does it ever have to be a currency?
Short, sweet, and to the point. There, Drake kind of highlighting one of his favorite parts of Bitcoin, I suppose. And, how can you blame him? It's time to let everybody know about Bitcoin, guys. It is share season. It's orange pill season, if you will, and Drake is leading as he often does. Drake is a leader. He's leading the charge here through his gigantic social media network. Hopefully, some people will get the message and hear loud and clear before prices for Bitcoin become at those nosebleed levels that are going to be really difficult to justify buying if you're new to the space. Although that is when retail will be FOMOing in, unfortunately. So that's that's the news over there in popular media. We did get a big kind of spike there from Drizzy, and it's nice to see. Big Poppy, some folks call him. He's got a lot of other names. So we'll keep moving here. Let's take a look at the Toncoin charts. Man, this thing is absolutely skyrocketed here on speculation of some big news. We'll get to it in just a second here, but almost basically call it 60% upside here from the 11th of March. It's now pulled away from that upper band of the Bollinger Bands here on the 4-hour, and overbought is absolutely being indicated here by ALGO Oscillator Matrix. And let's see what it looks like more on the weekly, because I have a feeling that these candlesticks, it's a God candle level here on the weekly chart. So what's going on here? What is going on with Toncoin? Well, let's go ahead and jump on into it here. Toncoin. Price hits 2-year high as Telegram weighs going public here. So this is something that we've also heard with Ripple Labs, and we've also heard maybe the flip side here of Coinbase issuing a coin. Now, that has pretty much been completely foregone. At this point, those rumors are completely over of Coinbase issuing a coin, but the rumors are far from over from Ripple Labs going ahead and IPOing in the United States. Issuing stock, right, going public, as it were. So the fact that Toncoin here may be the first to straddle those liquidity markets, straddle both the crypto market and the stock market, would be a very, very interesting development here. Of course, it would be Telegram, the company that would be going public, not Toncoin. But the close association and the singular team that would be managing both of those liquidity pools, that would be the really, really interesting, and as the title of this video suggests, unprecedented development here in the world. Let's go ahead and dive on in. Messaging app Telegram is gaining steam, and founder and CEO Pavel Durov says the company is considering an initial public offering. And that news has triggered a surge in the price, as we saw here on the charts for Toncoin. In an interview with the Financial Times published Monday, Durov said that Telegram was now 900 million monthly users. That's a lot. Up from 500 million in 2021. Let me know in chat. Drop a 1 in chat if you use Telegram at least once a month. Are you one of those 900 million users? But he goes on to say that it has pulled in hundreds of millions of dollars worth of revenue from subscriptions and advertising in recent years. Durov said Telegram is nearing profitability, possibly this year or next, and that his rejected investment offers valued at $30 billion or more. That's because he would rather pursue an IPO and keep Telegram free of venture capital influence. Quite valiant of him, in my opinion. The main reason why we started to monetize is because we wanted to remain independent. He told the Financial Times, generally speaking, we see value in an IPO and as a means to democratize access to Telegram's value. So, kind of taking the nice words for the crypto space. Of course, this would be a capitalist endeavor, a capitalist move here. They're going to be flush with cash. You know, it sounds like they've gotten offers for $30 billion, so they're probably likely valued around that area. Could be as much as $100 billion, could be as low as $10 billion, perhaps. But they're going to be getting some money in here. They're going to be getting inflows, and they're going to be able to build out infrastructure for their company. Now, some of that infrastructure may just be marketing, right? What do you think that's going to do to Toncoin? I think that that's going to make Toncoin go up and to the right. Now, the best time to buy crypto of any kind was 3 months ago, right? And before then, all through the bear market. But Toncoin is one of those coins where it may just be justifiable to buy high and sell higher. Toncoin does have a pretty big bullish development here with this news story. It's not something we've seen before ever on the planet Earth, where a company would both be publicly traded in the United States markets and also have close associations with a cryptocurrency that they likely could increase or decrease the supply of. Now let's take a look at Toncoin on CoinMarketCap here and just kind of check out some of the tokenomics. So Toncoin, you don't have to scroll far to find it at all. It's in the top 15. In fact, Toncoin was one of the major coins of the bear market that was giving people a lot of hope. There were definitely some people making money on Toncoin all throughout the bear market. If you'll remember that, drop a TON, T-O-N, the ticker for Toncoin. Drop a TON in chat. I want to see if you guys remember that as well as I do. Because a lot of other cryptos were just completely flat or down. And yes, you can see here, it does have a max supply according to CoinMarketCap. Let's cross-check this with CoinGecko here and just make sure. Let's see. Toncoin. All right. Yep, infinite max supply. So they would be in a position over at Telegram, that team, the C-suite for Telegram would be in a position to do something that has never been done before. It would give us a little bit of information on exactly what is going on here in the potential for if you could have a cryptocurrency at the same time that you are publicly traded, and you could have shares on one side that you could increase or decrease the supply of by buying or issuing more, and you could do the same with crypto on the other side. It's unprecedented, and for somebody like me, it's like icing on the cake of this whole experience. It's just so interesting to see, first, if regulators would ever let something like this go through, and what it would mean for the rest of the industry. Would there be a huge surge of other applicants looking to go public, like Ripple Labs and many others? And then what would this do to generally the profitability of Telegram/Toncoin? Now, Eric Wallen jumping in here saying Toncoin was dumped by Telegram. That is not what I'm tracking. I don't think that is the case. I think that it was the opposite, that they've actually solidified that relationship. So let me know. What do you guys think? Is there some kind of disconnect here? I'm not exactly sure, but the last I checked, Toncoin was very closely associated with Telegram, and that's what ultimately got it up into the top 15, to the top 20 for CoinMarketCap. Let's go ahead and do a little bit more technical analysis here on Toncoin, see what we can't pull out on the daily charts here for Toncoin. So I'm gonna continue to use some of my Lux Algo indicators here. You can see money flow starkly up and to the right on both layers, and you can see here February 27th is really where this flip took place in the money flow, and that has just been bullish ever since. We have been playing up here in getting close to the overbought. Did get a reverse delta there on the daily chart. If we turn on the Lux Algo signals and overlays, you can see that we have been spending a lot of time here in an overbought position according to the reversal waves. So this has been very bullish, and it is continuing to be very bullish here, especially within the last couple of days. We were in the reversal waves as early as February 28th of this year. So and it hasn't really turned around since. Now, it looks like that was called as well. Lux Algo had a level 3, call it a buy indicator here, and if you had bought in at that time, you would have made a pretty nice chunk of change, 104% return, or 100% or 111% if you sold the tippy top, which likely nobody will, if they bought down at the bottom, that is. Let's go ahead and check on the other indicator here from ALGO, the price action concepts, and you can see quite quickly what resistance Toncoin is coming into right here, and that is the premium zone. The premium zone here, and it just shot right on through the equilibrium zone and didn't really test the discount zone except for back here on January 3rd, 2024. So it began the year with a nice little test lower into the discount zone, got bought up voraciously, and then stayed sideways, doing a little stablecoin action before a move higher. Well, guys, it's not all ton and games. We are going to move on here. I'm sorry. And let's go ahead and jump over to the Bitcoin markets, because Bitcoin is doing its thing. I'm going to go ahead and leave on the ALGO price action concepts just so we can get a look here. Also getting into the premium zone is Bitcoin. Bitcoin getting into that same zone here. It used the equilibrium zone very nicely, almost perfectly. Wait, is this? Dang, that is like 100% perfect, right on the money here. ALGO's equilibrium zone was the perfect test for this move here, back in mid-February to I hadn't checked this out. Flip this resistance as support. That was a perfect retest. Mwah! I love that. It's nice to see that. Let's take a look here. So overall, I'll turn some of these off. So Bitcoin making its way through these historic levels I had drawn here. These are going to correlate with the monthly candles from the 2021 bull run. And you can see money flow here still continuing to be positive. We're actually getting a little bit of a plateau starting on the 11th. All that money's just rotating straight into Toncoin, right? It looks like. Well, of course not. We are starting to pull away from that top band of the Bollinger Band, potentially signaling a bit of weakness. But last time we did that was down here on February 15th. Started to pull away. Now, I will say it was a much more stark pull away from that upper band. And that only really just led to a new rotation of liquidity in very quickly as that price moved up and to the right. But right now we are pulling away, but it's at a different angle, right? I think that the buyer behavior here is slightly different. I think likely what we're seeing here is just a little bit of a cool off. But look what we're calling a cool off. I mean, since it's like movement away from the upper band of the Bollinger Band, we're still seeing an 11% move in 9 days, right? So I wouldn't call it anything really bearish going on, a signal of bearishness. In fact, if you look at one of the only red candles in the last 30 days here, you can see that these candles, they wick down, really not even getting below this channel that you could draw. I don't know how useful it would be to consider this to be a channel, but you see, it gets down to the bottom of that channel, it just immediately wicks. That just shows extreme buyer motivation in the coin known as Bitcoin. All right, guys. Well, a lot of speculation is that next stop is 75,000 per share, and we're not very far away from it. $75,000 per Bitcoin would be about a 2.75% move from current trading prices of $73,000 per coin. So it's bullish. It's bullish, and it's only getting more bullish. Let's drill down to the 4-hour here and see if anything else emerges. Yeah, as you can see, the 4-hour, oh yes, this kind of looks like the paint drips, right? You have the paint drips down below the midline of the Bollinger Band, and they just get bought up so quickly. Once, twice, we may get another one before a move higher. Note, what you'll notice also is that when you do get a test down below the Bollinger Band, you not only get a move higher, but you get a move higher in 2 candlesticks, right? And you don't reach the tippity top until another 3 candlesticks here, but you do see something similar here where it's a very big move, quick up and to the right. Whenever you see these wicks down below the midline of the Bollinger Band. So whenever we see Bitcoin price get down below this orange line here, which is the 200-day moving average, that is actually going to be a pretty good buy opportunity. Buying the dips in Bitcoin is kind of a no-brainer right now, especially if you have limited exposure to the king of crypto. Another very popular coin that's doing really well today is Matic. We're going to be reading a little bit about Matic here in just a second because we do have a headline on that. Matic doing really, really well. I believe Tim actually was predicting this yesterday while Matic was just here at the midline of the Bollinger. Oh, actually, it would have been down below. Yeah. So Tim had a great call on yesterday's live stream that would have given you almost 9% upside there on a leverage trade with Blowfin. That would have been really, really nice to see. Let's see how overbought Matic is getting at this point. It's getting into the premium levels as well and has not yet penetrated in through that reversal cloud on the 4-day. On the daily, we may have, so we're in the first layer of the reversal cloud for Matic there on the daily chart. Let's go ahead and look at the crypto bubbles here. Of course, Toncoin, our main kind of debut feature for today's stream, up 17% here, according to Crypto Bubbles. Dog with hat, everybody's favorite coin right now, everybody's favorite meme coin, up 16%, and that is leading. That is leading the bubbles here. I'm also seeing Pepe making a bit of a comeback, but Matic, man, it's good to see Matic here on the Crypto Bubbles being relevant. It's been so long since Matic has really been a relevant coin. It's nice to see. Algo fans getting some love. My other meme coin holding, Ordi, had a pretty good day yesterday, also getting a bid early in the trading session today. That is nice to see as well. Let's go ahead and get into some other stories here. We talked about Drake, Big Drizzy. We talked about the Toncoin potential IPO. And now let's go ahead and jump into why analysts are bullish on the Ethereum Dane Coon upgrade. This is where Matic comes in here. Let's get into the details. Specifically, Dane Coon will improve EIP 4844, otherwise known as proto-dank sharding. Say that one 5 times fast. Which will usher in lower gas fees on Ethereum Layer 2 networks. It will also allow Layer 2 transactions to settle on Ethereum through a new transaction type called blobs, which temporarily store large amounts of data in a more gas-efficient manner than before. So, of course, this sounds pretty bullish for Layer 2s, and that is confirmed here in the next bit of paragraph. That makes networks like Polygon, Arbitrum, and Optimism direct beneficiaries of the upgrade because they process transactions in batches called rollups before settling them to Ethereum. We are expecting a pretty drastic reduction in cost for Polygon ZK EVM, Polygon Labs VP of Product David Silverman told Decrypt. This will only follow Polygon's Fioja upgrade, which doesn't have a target date yet. So bullish things coming for Ethereum Layer 2s and Matic responding to that bullishness today with getting a bid 7.6% to the upside. We don't talk about Matic enough here on the channel. We really ought to. It was one of the biggest performers in the last bull market, and it is likely going to continue that trend as proto-dank sharding comes around with the Dane Coon upgrade, which is coming very, very soon. Now, I'll go ahead and cover it while we're on kind of the Ethereum world. Let's go ahead and jump on into this story, which isn't all that great. This is the Ethereum ETF approved by May 31. This is over on Polymarket. These are the betting odds that it's either going to happen or not happen. So whether or not Ethereum ETF is approved on May 31st, 31% chance. So yesterday we got the release on, and this is what my main story yesterday on the 9 a.m. stream, that Eric Bokanis had issued a 35% likelihood rating. Now, that same rating was 90% for the Bitcoin spot ETF. Now, there's a lot of reasons why it's not 90%, why it's 35%, but it looks like the betting markets here are going ahead and confirming that Ethereum is just not Bitcoin, and the SEC is not as likely to look at it as a commodity, not as likely to look at it as so favorably as they did with Bitcoin and go ahead and give it that ETF stamp of approval. Now, as we've covered profusely on this channel over the last week, that is not going to be the end of the ETF saga for Ethereum. However, because likely, those in the ring, those who are kind of have some skin in the game, including BlackRock, are not going to go down without a fight. They, of course, are going to more than likely sue the SEC, and it'll be dragged out in court, of which the SEC has a terrible record as of late. So that'll be what we'll be watching. If this changes and this makes a move higher, you can expect price to move up on Ethereum. But as of now, I didn't have an article for this one, but I'm seeing headlines that the puts are starting to pile up for Ethereum, and we could see some volatility, some increased volatility, certainly into the move into May 31st. But we could see some volatility as soon as this week. It's not over yet. As soon as this week, and maybe before March is over. Now, what does that mean? Should I sell all of my Ethereum? Should I be worried? Should I be scared? Look, you're in the Wild West of investing, right? Ethereum is in the top 5. In fact, it's in the top 2. It is the second most popular cryptocurrency. And I will tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I did not invest in Ethereum because I anticipated an ETF, a spot ETF, coming around for it. Will it be bullish once it gets the spot ETF? I do believe so. Will there be a correction when it gets rejected on May 31st by Gary Gensler and his crew over there at the SEC? I do think there will be price volatility, and I think that there will be more than likely downside price discovery around that time. However, at this point in time, as is same as yesterday, I am not anticipating selling my Ethereum to try to avoid losses. But the put market is starting to pile up, premiums starting to pile up and increase over there for puts as people are trying to essentially buy contracts that serve as insurance in the event that Ethereum does see a 20, 30, 40% correction, either now in anticipation of the rejection in the late May decision of the SEC or closer to that date. Well, let's go ahead and turn to the bros here. Blackie Chan saying, good morning, bros. Got a GM bros here from Mike Play. And of course, GS jumping in with a hey to Dylan Martinez and Ninja Glock. It's nice to see. Troy McDrain said, you will learn soon enough. I hope so. I love to learn. Learning is fun, and knowledge is power. And some people might even say that knowledge is profit. Dylan Martinez throwing up some party emojis. Zachary Martin said, can you please try to say it 5 times fast? LOL, it would be good content. Dank sharding, proto-dank sharding, proto-dank sharding, proto-dank sharding, proto-dank sharding, proto-dank sharding. There you go. We're having fun. We are having some fun. Thank you, T-Shroom. You are so good at everything that you do. All right. That was a moment of silliness. Let's get back into the serious stuff here. And nothing's more serious than Grayscale. Remember, they were the culprit for the sell the news on January 10th. They were the culprit because very few analysts were actually tracking the fact that they were going to have an increased fee. Well, Grayscale may have just come up with a solution for that, and it's very small. It's a very small solution. Okay, Grayscale files for a Bitcoin mini trust, small solution. Will it offset the GBTC losses? Per an S1 statement filed on Tuesday, the Grayscale Bitcoin Mini Trust, which will boast the familiar ticker BTC, will be seeded as a spinoff of the much larger GBTC fund. That means some portion of GBTC's underlying Bitcoin stash will be diverted into the newer fund, and existing GBTC shareholders will be compensated with a proportional number of of BTC shares. That is really unfortunate that they're going to name it BTC. I hope that they don't actually go through with that because that is going to be very confusing for people. The spinoff is not expected to be a taxable event for GBTC or its shareholders, the filing notes. So that is an important filing, I would say, an important distinction. While the filing hasn't disclosed what portion of GBTC's Bitcoin will be diverted, nor what the new fund's management fee will be, analysts have a strong feeling about what the company is up to. Pretty quotation here from Bloomberg analyst James Seifert, who is someone who I know, like, and trust. He said this: pretty sure this will be a non-taxable event for a chunk of those shares to get into cheaper and cost-competitive products. So what is really happening here? Grayscale is like, man, BlackRock, Fidelity, they're getting all our customers. They're getting our custies. We got to get basically an ETF with lower fees that are actually competitive with these other spot Bitcoin ETFs, so that at least our customers have an incentive to rotate their money into that ETF rather than our competitors' ETFs over at BlackRock and Fidelity and ARC21 shares and so on and so forth. Will it work? I don't know. But the fact that their tax attorneys think that it won't be a taxable event is favorable, right? Because it will be a taxable event if you rotate into BlackRock's ETF or Fidelity's ETF. I don't know. I think this might be pretty unique to watch. I don't know that an ETF has ever done this, and I'm sure that Eric Bulkanis and James Seyfert are watching this with bated breath to see just how the IRS, I suppose, is going to treat this, I can only assume, as novel kind of innovation here in the financial markets. But James Seyfert literally said, pretty sure this will be a non-taxable event. So that would be a good strategy here for Grayscale. Now, is this going to have a greater effect on the overall Bitcoin market? I really don't think so. I think that there was a sell the news event for Bitcoin when January 10th, when the application was approved. The applications were approved for the spot Bitcoin ETF. There was a sell the news event because analysts were not tracking that high 1.5% fee over at Grayscale. But the reality is that the outflows, they're still negative. The outflows are still, there's still more outflows than inflows. I'm trying to be clear with my language here. So there are still outflows over at the GBTC, right? Meaning that they're really hemorrhaging returns and future returns, and they're hemorrhaging them to some of the biggest banks on Wall Street. So what can be done here? Well, this is the action that they're taking. Will it affect the price of Bitcoin? I really don't think so, because most market participants who were going to make a buy or sell decision based on that kind of scary, whoa, what's going on with this fee news, they've already done that. They did that in January, right, in early February. So I think that's old news, and I don't think that this innovation is likely to offset significantly enough to have a real impact on certainly supply and demand of Bitcoin availability, but also I just don't think this is going to have an effect. It's not going to really, my guess is that we probably won't hear about this unless the IRS has a problem with it not being a non-taxable event. Then we'll hear about it again. But my guess is they're going to issue it, maybe see a flurry of marketing, some PR stories about it, which I probably won't cover because that's just a pay-to-play. So we'll see. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. Maybe this will be the shining new star of investment on Wall Street, and everybody's going to FOMO into it like it's gold on steroids, gold on the internet. Oh wait, that's Bitcoin. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. I've been T Shroom, and we have been covering some pretty interesting news articles today. We got to even hear from Drizzy Drake's Instagram account as he's gone ahead and posted a pretty cool and kind of very bullish orange pill video from none other than Michael Saylor over on his Instagram account. Folks, if you're looking to continue the fun and keep it rolling, you may want to do it in VR. You may want to do it in the virtual world, and you now have a chance to do that with the Apple Vision Pro, which is something you can win. Today is the last day. You have less than a day here, less than 24 hours to go ahead and claim your spins. Now, how do you get these spins? You go to the link in our description. It's the first link in the description, and you go ahead and set up your Blowfin account. And if you are trading $50,000 worth of volume, which might sound like a lot, but if you're using leverage, it actually adds up a lot quicker than you think. But every 50,000 increment of trading volume that you use, you get a free spin, and you could be riding in style with the Apple Vision Pro if you are the lucky winner for that, and you could be looking just as adorable here as this cute little dog. If you're trading today, keep those stop losses tight. And folks, please stay hydrated and make sure you tune in for our 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time show. And today we also have Bro Time immediately following the 3 p.m. show. So make sure you tune into that as well. We'll see you there.
Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots that bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor of the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shroom's news got the word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots that bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.